Life is a narrow path. Every choice builds something and eliminates alternatives. We're talking about your actions and what you do under this time. If you knew that what you choose today in the present would be good when tomorrow arrives, you would do things differently. But there is a way to predict your future, and that's by creating it yourself. Because every choice closes a door. You need to understand that every choice builds something and eliminates alternatives. What does a narrow path mean? It simply means that you can't have everything. You cannot have all. But you can have what you want, or at least what you need in this lifetime. But remember, you can't have all. And the only thing preventing you from having what you want is your cognitive dissonance. You want too many things at once and they overlap. And when these things overlap, they cancel each other out, right? They become antagonistic to each other. And so your foremost duty is to be certain that the thing you want is the only thing you want and nothing else. When you trade all your time, all your values and all your resources for this thing, and you know is the right thing for you, you then stand a chance at getting the thing you want. And so a question will naturally arise. How do I know that the thing I'm doing is the right thing? And the answer for this is, you don't know if it's the right thing. All it matters is if it feels good to you. If it feels good to you. Because if it doesn't feel good to you, then what's the purpose of working on the thing you do, right? You might be monetary value or being forced to do something you don't like, but that should be just for a short while. You shouldn't be spending your life doing something you don't like to do. Seriously. That's a big problem. That's a big mistake. This plan, the plan you've been sold on, that you should be going through life doing stuff you don't like, is not yours. It's not good for your growth. It's not conducive to your fulfillment. It's not helping you reach your highest potential. And so you must ditch it. But I know this is hard to do, right? And we're going to go over some points on how to properly do this and choose a new course for your life. But let's first understand part one, which is every choice closes a door. And here we have number one. When you choose a path, you reject the many. Well, this is for sure and this is certain. Again, you can't have it all. And so if life is made of the things that matter most to you and every individual is doing the same thing, then there should be a synergy between transactions. That is, you give value to somebody else and that somebody else gives you value back. You could call this value or the exchange money, but it's also knowledge. But with regards to choices, when you choose something over something else, the same thing happens. You've already paid by not choosing something else. You've already paid by choosing one thing only out of the infinite possibilities you could take. So how come you want to do everything? Why would you want to do everything? You don't want to do everything. This is understandable in nature. But the question still remains, how do I know that the thing I'm doing is the right thing for me? And you don't know because you can't possibly know. You just have to guess that's the right thing you do. So you have to trade your time with the highest possible degree of faith in the thing that you do and believe in it so wholeheartedly that you make it work, right? We conclude is the meaning we give to things, not the other way around. That is, we know for sure that the thing we do is the right thing. It doesn't work like that. So in a way, you must believe in yourself, your degree of self-image, the degree you trust your technical ability, and the level of faith you have in the universe, that things will turn out the way you want. So you can't have everything. You can only choose what you want. Choose something that you want to make it work, because things will work in the measure to which you make them work. Remember this. Point number two, opportunity appears and disappears at the same rate. When you have to choose, let's say, between two partners, you don't know which is good, but your subconscious mind, your intuition, and your soul, I would say, already knows what's the best choice for you. At times might be a third party involved. You just gotta take your time with this when you can't fully decide, You need to understand that opportunity appears and disappears at the same rate. So time flies in a way. But when you have to choose between two things, just understand that nothing is perfect at this point. So regardless of what your choice is, you will never know what's good and what's bad for you. And you will never know the good and the bad parts of both choices involved. So you'll have to choose anyway, because otherwise you get stuck in time and you repeat the same loop until your subconscious mind will bring the same experiences in your life for you to understand the lesson. This is largely covered by Carl Jung. If you want to undertake the study, please do. But take your time with it. 3. You become what you choose to see. When we say every choice closes a door, you do become what you choose to see. Again, you succeed to the degree to which you have faith in yourself to make that thing work. So if you become what you choose to see, then here lies the power to choose a new direction for your life. With other words, choose. It's not a matter of how you're gonna get there if your why is strong enough. Think about that. There will always be a way if the destination is clear in mind. So at this point, you want to be clear on what you want to see. Precisely envision yourself as the new person already living in your body in the same situation you now live in. Like you have the new person already living through you, the life that person, the future you, with other words, is living or wants to live in the present moment through you. And it does it. Like you help to bring about the change of your future version, but you must really feel it. That is, you gotta choose from within. You must not make a surface choice. It has to come from within. You must feel it. Because if you don't feel it, somebody else will assign that choice for you and you will believe it's yours. And this is the gravest mistake that most people are doing it. And they do it unconsciously to the degree to which they live their life, but they live somebody else's life based on other people's choices and tastes and trends and all that. And at the end, when everything is finished, they're just simply a copy. They're just the slots. They were given a body, they were assigned a body at birth, but they only knew to become what they could see, copycats. And that's far from what we discuss here in this essay, or in this argument, I would say, because you want to be living through your own intention, and that requires being misunderstood at times, choosing to see on purpose some things the way you want to see them. It requires you to be detached from societal norms and choose your own direction rather than other people's casted projections onto you. So in order to be able to choose something that's really meaningful to yourself, you need to take out time on purpose and really study and reflect on the things you believe are yours, and also craft a plan for how you're gonna get the future version of yourself to live in the current body you live in, right? To embellish your experience and to make it be next level, the way you want it to be. Like include new things in your routine, like meditate, take on some sports, go to gym, like start writing, start studying something, change, use your brain, use your body, make use of the tools you have, and more room for ability and skill and more knowledge will be available to you. Only like that you can transcend. With other words, you can jump onto the next level. Part 2, indecision is still a decision. You'll need to understand, number 1, time does not wait for you. It doesn't wait for you. So if you're still undecided, remember, as I said, when you don't know what to choose, just take your time. That means indecision is still a decision. But there is a distinction here. When I say wait, you need to wait for more information. Yet, when you have the information and you still don't decide, that's an indecision. That leads to stagnation. And we see loads of people around us. You don't want to be like them, bro. You want to be like yourself. You want to cultivate the sense of taking decisions fast and changing them slowly. That's the best habit you can have as a young man. Take decisions fast and change them slowly. Or never change them in a way. And just follow through regardless of what you chose. This is the beauty of life. When you go through with the shit you picked, that becomes meaningful to you because you can create meaning for that. You can create meaning for the thing you now hate and still find it pleasurable to a certain degree, knowing that you can control it, you can detach from it. And detachment here means that you're not owned by the thing you hate anymore. And you simply take your time. And again, to wrap this up, when you see the people around you reflecting in decision in their lifestyle, in the choice of clothes, in the choice of their body, in the choice of their habits, in all the small choices that compound, choose something else. Choose you, but be defined, be clear in that, because time doesn't wait for you. You gotta choose something and follow through, because when you decide, you also choose to change. When you change, you also change who you are, and that will change your beliefs and your values. With other words, what you believe in and what you choose to behave or to act as. So you're only a decision away from changing your life. Before the end of this video, I want you to think about a decision you can take today that in turn will serve you for the rest of your life. So choose wisely. Think about something you've wanted to change for a very long time and then put it down on paper. But make sure you follow through with action immediately after, because if you don't follow with action, that thing will be lost. The same way it arrived in your consciousness, in your awareness field, in your radar. It might be the thing you've been putting off for a very long time, and now I think it just came the time to actually deal with it once and for all. I'll let you think about that before we end the video. and I'll help you through with that decision by asking you some questions, hoping you will be following along. Number 2, everything you don't choose to do compounds. There's a great secret in here. Everything you don't choose to do compounds. If you choose not to smoke, it compounds into health. Is the opposite of the positive here. You don't choose to do certain things, and they compound into goodness. For example, when referencing bad things as a reference for the sake of the argument. So if somebody with their money buys vape or cigarettes or cigars or alcohol or anything else, with those money, you invest in yourself. You buy a gym subscription, you buy the best toothbrush, you buy the best watch, or you buy yourself a nice phone, or you get yourself a new laptop or some clothes or something. But you invest those money by doing what? By choosing not to do certain things. I know if you watch this video, you're one of these men. I highly believe, I don't know you, but I highly believe in you. For some weird reason, I know that only people who are meant to hear this information or these words are meant to hear these words, period. And I know it helps a lot. It's crazy as fuck. So look at yourself and see what you don't choose to do. And I want you to do precisely one important thing. To appreciate yourself for that. As they say, give yourself a pat on the back. I want you to basically treat yourself today or tomorrow, whenever you watch this video. And basically applauding or rewarding yourself nicely. Choosing not to do certain things when you could have. Right? When you could have, because it's big. Things that are easy to do are easy not to do. So I want you to consider that as well, because you can go in both ways. And reward yourself for that, brother. Part 3. Repeating habits are locking your direction. Your nervous system works through repetition. The more you repeat something, the more you become that something. And the more that something has you in the end. Not only the fact that it compounds, but that something owns you at the end. You start to smoke and the smoking has you. You cannot stop. Same with good habits, I'm saying. So the main point here being what you repeat, you become. So I want you to look at yourself and see what you do and you know you shouldn't be doing it, yet you still do it and you should stop. And then start coming up with a plan for that and choose to stop because you can. As soon as you made the change to choose that something instead of something else and you know it's not good for you, then you have the power to choose back again, to become this new person. You might have to do with the decision I ask you to take. Listen closely. The more you repeat something, the more alternative fades. This point being number 1 at part number 3. Simply emphasizes the importance of the compound effects. You want to have a closer look at what you do on a regular basis that you can change or improve, with other words, do better. Because you want to be a professional in everything you do. In everything you do on an ongoing basis, you want to have the best equipment, the best skill, and the best knowledge with the best mentors. When you choose this, at the same time, you want to ditch the alternatives. The alternatives are the habits that are keeping you stuck or that have no reward on investment. And we're talking about your time, energy, and money. If you have a habit that is like a hobby or something that's eating away at your energy and your time and everything, you might want to be cold with yourself at this point. And again, might have to do with the decision. Check in with yourself. See if you can cut down on something to really make room for the important things in your life. Number 2, habits that society assigns you or self-chosen. So we have the distinction between self-agency and what the society tries to cultivate. Society tries to cultivate batteries, workers, basically. These workers are meant to sustain the system. And the system is running pretty damn well. Society collects taxes and they go into defense and education and medicine and whatever those money goes to. But that's not your problem. Your problem becomes when the society tries to assign you some targets that are not yours. You want to be self-sufficient, which is the opposite of what society tries to cultivate from you or use you in a way. And this is good. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. Society works. You have electricity, you have roads, you have public transportation, you have medicine, you have everything. You have police, you have protection, you have everything. It's good. But when it comes to assign you certain things, and it does it largely because this is the default path with schools and mass media and all that. When you fall trap for these things, which I'm sure most of us did, you want to wake up and really analyze yourself. Again, you got to reflect on yourself seriously. See how conditioned you are and then find a way to break away from that path. Find a way to break away from the traditional trajectory. You can. Many people did. Now is your turn. And you can. Start living life through intention. Set yourself bigger goals, dare to dream boldly, and then start pursuing them. Because you can. You can play the system by first playing with your mind, setting yourself a target, and moving as fast and as furiously as possible towards that goal. Because you can achieve it. I'm telling you. As long as you got your mind, you can get back everything that's been put in there. You can get back the control of your mind, and you can start moving from there. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. If they could manage to take hold of your thinking in the moments of your unawareness, let's call it like that, to the best we can refer to here, then you can reverse engineer the process and really take stock of yourself. See what you think about yourself. See what you think about the world. But don't look at what you think. Look at what you actually do. Because that's where your unconscious beliefs, unconscious narratives are stored in your behavior. The level of your money, the quality of clothes, the quality of the equipment you use, or you drive, the people you hang out with, that's programmed into you. That's literally been programmed into you. If you want to change, decide. That's what awaits you at the end of this transformation. If you want to live a new life, you gotta take a new decision. As simple as that. It's always been the case throughout history. So choose wisely. Number 3, what you became up until now has eliminated options. Become aware, choose your own life. As I said, choose your own trajectory. What separates you is a new decision. At this level, you want to decide properly. If you've made up your mind about the decision you want to take, please take it and don't look back. Burn your boats, with other words. Burn it. That is, choose something, ditch the rest, and follow through. Your subconscious mind, if the idea comes from within, not from outside, or not from superficial thinking, you'll be astounded to see that synchronicities will take place. Your words will come out at the right time in the right sequence. Your actions will be bold enough and carried with conviction, and you will succeed to the highest degree possible you can envision or you couldn't have. And so what you became up until now has been the sequence of multiple decisions. Then it's our foremost duty to become this new individual by deciding to do things differently in a new way. We could do the same old things in a new way, or we could choose to do new things in a completely new way. Now, you need to understand something here. In our minds, there are loads of biases, contrasting beliefs, right? If you want to have control over things, then I'm just giving this as an example. You cannot preach love. Control and love doesn't go in at the same time. You need to understand this because this is very crucial. Why we're talking about this, about contrasting beliefs or antagonistic values? Precisely because when you decide to do something, you're actually subtracting from something within yourself. You're not adding. You're just recycling. Basically, you take from here to raise the level here, but you are not going to raise the level on all planes. So what's left to do is to really pay close attention to what I'm going to say. Here is the kicker for how you can solve this problem, this issue, because there are never problems. You have the AI, right? Use Claude for this and have Claude act as your therapist. Ask it questions. Give it your situation. Try to catch the beliefs that are keeping you stuck and that you never thought of digging for them. And you will be astounded to notice some patterns that repeat again and again in your life. And these patterns repeat precisely because your subconscious mind tries to gain the lesson from there. He tries to master them. This was the theory of Carl Jung. He wants to assimilate the lessons, to integrate, with other words. He wants to process. But this process will only come at times, and precisely when these patterns emerge. But you can do it on your own by using Claude or ChatGPT and ask the AIs questions about how you can change, and also dig for your beliefs, brother. See what you believe unconsciously. And also when you feed the AI the information, write the patterns, the recurring stories with great detail. And you will be amazed how the AI can triangulate or converge on some details to make you aware of your unconscious behavior. You don't want to study the thinking, you want to study your behavior, because your thinking reflects your biases, but your behavior reflects your values. and your values are leading you from the shadows, because your values are maintained largely by unconscious suppressed material. For example, if I like blonde women, I have no fucking clue why do I like it. But if I dig properly with AI and I trace back into my childhood, since my infancy, I notice some details there that my subconscious mind has picked up on these details as them having the quality and the traits the inner child, or the younger version of my subconscious mind, if I can put it like that, needed at the time. And if these values are not renewed, with other words, questioned or integrated, they become stuck. That is, the CD, or the nervous system, as I mentioned before, has been written, and the only way you can rewrite it is through repetition. But this is the last problem. The only problem is becoming aware of the fact that there is a problem in the unconscious, and you can easily spot it by spotting your patterns, by what you do, not what you think, and you do it best with AI. So start from there. Part number 4, commit fully to something, because number 1, you will never know if life path A was better than B. Gary Vee says something along the lines of, if I would have flown to Europe and the plane would crash, I would not know it. And so you will never know if the path you chose was the right path. This is how life is. You can have a guess, but you can't fully know for sure. So you gotta take a risk in a way, you know? I should have put here, take more risk, because life is risky. And if we run, let's say, by the survival of the fittest, the theory of Charles Darwin, then yes, you should be taking more risks if you want to perpetuate the species, right? Because when the resources are scarce, competition is higher and the strongest survives. So you can't fully know for sure which of the paths is the good one. All you can do is just rely simply on your inner feeling, right? What you feel inside. When you're given 2-3 choices, just go with the one that feels best for you and try to feel it properly. But please train. When you train yourself to feel stuff, you'll become better at it. So start from there. Number 2, you are finite. Invest your time wisely. Do something you like but is proven to work. And so here's how to best do this. Do something that can keep you awake at night. Do something you love. Do something practical that people love and is also validated. So you can basically make a living through helping people. And you do this by solving your own problems and selling the solution for those problems. So how do you invest your time wisely? What do you think is proven to work? What do you think is here? How can you better choose to invest your time wisely? There is more life that people want, you included. So you want more of anything. Now, the way to reach that point, or to reach the end goal, is to be content in the present, to be happy in the present, but never satisfied. Remember, you gotta be hungry. So choose something that keeps your hunger high, all right? It also helps you keep that dark side going, your ego going, you know, because your ego is good if you tame it properly. It can be your dog. It can make you be a furious opponent, and you want to be that. So choose something that has a return on investment. And this return on investment is subjective. It can be different for anybody. Some people define it as money, other people as attention, some respect, other people are just seeing it as being, you know, self-soothing in a way. Other people at helping others are seeing satisfaction in there. So this return on investment can be of a selfish nature as well. So what's the decision you want to take? My question for you is, what's there so selfish for you to take? What do you think it is? Now, just in between me and you, because I'm not here to criticize you, we all have our dark side, right? Just gotta see and weigh the benefits in your favor, because any behavior has a personal gain, a personal benefit. So what's your benefit in here? And you investing your time wisely. Is it money? Is it recognition? They're all good. Is it fame? It must work in your favor. Trust it and just go with it. Don't look back. Choose something and go with it and follow it fully. Do something without fear, and you will see fear will go away forever. Courage will emerge, and more self-expression will be available to you like never before. Try it. So again, think about your decision. If you're not ready to take the leap now, or you still have time until we finish the video, maybe it will become clearer. Part 5. The only opened door. We reached a point in the video where the present is the only opened door. So whatever decision you might be, which I hope you've already decided in a way, or at least you have a sketch in your mind, remember that you cannot decide yesterday, that you cannot decide tomorrow. The only thing that you can control is the day of today. And with this in mind, please have in mind that you're only given a day at a time. Choose how to spend it wisely. I would say choose today, but I'll not say it. I say, decide now. If you don't decide now, if you postpone the decision, you will never know if the way you chose was the right way for you. But remember, you can know for sure if something is the right thing for you by believing in yourself and making it work. Only like that. Because life is like a chessboard where you have the white figurines and your subconscious mind has the black figurines. But you're not playing against your subconscious mind. And you can't see those black figurines. You only play with yourself. And you can only capture the queen time and time again just by believing that the next move you're gonna take on that square will be the queen. That's how you play life. So the present is the only open door. Choose to capture the queen today because you can. Power will be given to you only when you take action. Action comes only by taking the decision to change. Change is good. Change is easy. Maintaining it is hard because success is rented. It will always be rented. And we jump on point number 2. You can always choose to improve what you want. If you chose badly in the past, you can choose a new direction. If you already own this new direction, you can choose to improve it. Remember when I said earlier that do everything you can and do it to your best of your ability or something along the lines. Same thing I will repeat again here, but I'll combine these points with the fact that you can always choose a new direction today because you can. And if this video has brought some awareness into your mind and you're still not fully decided to take the leap yet into the new life you envision for yourself, then all I can do is to put again the mirror close to your face and to say, if you don't choose, all your potential will be gone. Because by not choosing, you already choose not to act. And when you don't act, there is no power to do anything, right? Remember what I said. People say about inspired action, but just believe in action because you're already inspired. Inspired means in spirit or something like that. You already have the spirit within you. There is something inside of you that at all times knows what's the next move. He already knows what's the next best thing to do. So just count on it. Just go with it. Just follow it. Just flow through life. And you will see success at every step of the way. Please decide today to be a new person. You can. You have the power. As long as you exist, you are the cause. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye.